Monsieur Davies, vous avez la parole.
Thank you, Mr. President. For the last 25 years, Western governments have been convinced that man-made carbon emissions are causing the Earth to heat up, and that the solution to this is to tax cheap energy sources and to subsidize less efficient and more expensive ones. And in following these policies, we have relied very heavily on the IPCC, whose own predictions have been consistently wrong, many of whose so-called leading scientists actually have close links with various environmental movements and can hardly be considered to be dispassionate. And all of this has led across Western Europe to higher fuel bills for consumers and also to higher manufacturing costs, which has meant that businesses, rather than cutting their emissions, have simply moved eastwards, taking their jobs and their skills with them. And all this is happening at a time when the latest figures from the Met Office, which is one of the world's leading expert bodies in climate change, and which incidentally is signed up to the general theory of climate change, produced figures just before Christmas, which show that there has been no global warming at all for the last 15 years. The hottest year we had was 1997. Since then, no increase in temperature at all, despite the fact that places like India, China and Brazil have been industrializing and producing vast amounts of carbon emissions. Now, I think before we continue with the current policies, we need to stop and answer the following questions. How is it possible for carbon emissions to have gone up, but for temperatures to have stayed the same? What percentage of the 0.7 degree increase in temperatures, which has been recorded since we industrialized, was a result not of carbon dioxide emissions, but of the natural warming that would have taken place as the Earth was coming out of a cool period? And for how many years can we continue to hit manufacturers and domestic consumers with higher energy bills to solve a problem that we don't appear to have? A wise man once said, "When the facts change, I change." The facts are changing now, and it is time for us to stop and reconsider our whole policies on energy and climate change. If we fail to do this, then it is not going to be rising global temperatures that we have to worry about, but rising public tempers.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur.